Welcome to creating profitable EA project. On the last video we talked about the general idea of the project and the motivation behind it. And today we'll talk about the planning stage. But before we will start doing anything with our project, we need to talk a little bit about the project management methodology. So, what is project management methodology? It's a project approach with set of rules which structure work on the project. Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but in simple words, I would say it's the way how you work on the project. There are many types of project methodologies out there, and we do not have so much time to talk separately about each of them. So, what I would suggest is to Google project management methodology if you want to get more information. And today, we will focus on choosing the right project management methodology for our project. There are two main types of project management methodologies, and they are Agile and Waterfall. Each of them is different, and we'll choose one of them to run our project. So, let's start with the Waterfall methodology. In this kind of methodology, we divide our work on the action blocks from the start to the finish of our project. Each of those blocks represents the action of the specified area. For example, we got block representing requirements, design, development, testing, and deploy of the final product. While using this methodology, we have to put a big pressure on each of those action blocks, because if we will finish one block and move to the next one, we cannot come back. And what that means for us. For example, let's imagine we did our requirements for the project, we closed the block and moved to the design stage. During design stage, we made some very big mistakes, but still decided to close the block and move to the development stage. We developed the product, we tested and deployed in production. And what we got in the result? We got the faulty product because we made some serious mistakes on the early stages of the project. That's why in Waterfall methodology this is so important to make sure that our action block is done 100% correct before we close it and move to the next action block. The name of this methodology of course comes from the waterfall, because we manage our project from start to the finish like the water flows from the top to the bottom of the waterfall. Okay, Agile methodology. I can say that this is my favorite methodology, and the steps are pretty much similar to Waterfall, but the main difference is the workflow of those steps. So, if we look on the below workflow, we can see that the work is being done in cycles. Okay, but what do you mean in cycles? There is no beginning and the end of the project? Yes, there is. So, let's assume we start with the requirements like with the Waterfall methodology. Then we move to the design stage, development, testing and deploy. And now, if we are happy with the product, we close our project. But if not, we move again to the requirements, design, development, testing, deploy. The work is being done in cycles until we are happy with the project. The development process looks like this. First, we create a basic product, and after each cycle we update it until we have a product that we are very satisfied with. Okay, so we know Waterfall methodology and Agile methodology. How do you think? Which one is going to be better to use for our project of creating profitable EA software? I think you already know. It's the Agile methodology. Why Agile? The first reason is that the scope of our project is not very well defined. What do I mean by that? We do not know if you're going to spend 1 hour, 1 week, 1 month or 1 year on creating our EA software. The next reason is that we do not have a clear vision of what the final product will look like, in that case our EA software. We do not have a strategy rules or money management rules. The next reason is actually a big benefit of Agile project management methodology, and it is the rule that the quick production is more important than the quality of the product. What do I mean by that? Basically, we will create our product in cycles. After each cycle, our product will get better and better. So basically, we focus on developing and creating new better software instead of planning and making sure every step is done correctly. The next point is the fact that this is the excellent model for the environments that change all the time. In financial markets, the only steady thing is the change. The markets change all the time, so I think it's a good point. And the last thing, it's easy to manage. Okay, let's move to the tools. We're gonna use MetaTrader 4, MetaEditor, Excel and Google. MetaTrader 4 we're gonna use for testing, MetaEditor for coding our EA software, Excel for analysis of our tests, and Google of course for research. Our target state of the project is to create EA software that will trade daily and generate profit every month between 10 to 100% of the capital gain, which is quite good, and the maximum drawdown of the capital would be 50%. I will not accept any test that will have a bigger drawdown than 50% of the capital. Current state. We do not have the strategy, we do not have money management rules, but we sure have a coding skills, analysis skills, and a motivation, which is a big factor for success of this project. Okay, let's move to the development process flow. First, we need to find the strategy. When we got the strategy, we will move to the cycle. First, we will code the strategy, backtest it, analyze the output, and adjust the strategy. The whole cycle is called the sprint. So we will work on sprints. Each sprint will represent update of our software. So we will start from the first sprint, then move to the second sprint, then third sprint, then again update, update, and we will continue this methodology until we will have a successful product. Okay, action to follow. For the next video we'll have to find the strategy for the sprint number 1. After that we have to code the strategy into Expert Advisor, so-called EA, and then we'll test this strategy and analyze the output, and hopefully we will result in the profitable EA. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions or ideas that could contribute to our project, please leave them in comments, hit the like button, and you can also find me on Facebook as Divergence FX Trader. If you want to have the fresh updates of our project, please click subscribe and wait for our next video. Thanks, see you again.